All right, Doggies fans, we're here with Troy Menzel. Troy, thanks for joining me, mate.
No, thanks for having me.
We've got a nice little audience for tonight's interview as well.
Yeah, a couple of boys sticking around, which is nice.
Always good to see, mate. I want to talk your career thus far. It's been you've done a lot in your short time, and started with debuting for Centrals or the Doggies at 16, mate.
Yeah, that was seems like an eternity ago now. Back in 2011, I reckon it was. Yeah, coming up through the juniors at Centrals, and was lucky enough to make my debut and play a few senior games here.
And do you remember getting the call to make your debut?
I do actually. I wasn't sure if I was going to be playing. It was a Friday night before the game, and it depended if Paul Thomas got up or not. And I think about 10 minutes into training, he pulled up pretty sore, and then he came down. And he actually told me that I was playing. So it happened about 12 hours before the game. The game started, so it was pretty short notice, but yeah, very exciting.
And mate, remember getting ready to play your first league game and lining up on the getting out on the field to grab your first touch. Do you remember it clearly?
I kind of do, because I was playing on my home group teacher at school at the time, which was quite bizarre. So I remember coming on and going straight to him, and he was giving me a bit of lip, and my first touch was actually a goal. So I probably had the last laugh in the classroom on the Monday, which was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to do that, get one up over the teachers, mate. And you had a few injuries going through your draft years, a couple of knee reconstructions, mate. How did you go getting through those?
Yeah, it was my knee reconstruction. Yeah, happened in the under 16 state champs. And then with my surgery, it gave me enough time. I knew I wasn't going to play again that year, but it gave me plenty of time to rehab for the next year. And so it was actually pretty easy to know that my goal was round one the next year and come back from that. And then had a couple of minor knee injuries in my draft year, but I guess at the time they're tough to overcome. But at the end of the day, I was sort of looking long picture, long term ahead, so it wasn't too bad.
Absolutely. And obviously, on talking knee injuries, your brother Daniel obviously had a horrid run of knee reconstructions and knee injuries in his time at Geelong, but starting to play some footy now. And obviously, you've got the mental toughness, mental fortitude
repping
on.
the MTMF gear. So he's actually just released a new range, so he would give that a bit of a plug.
Give it a bit of a plug, get the support.
That's going really well. He's really enjoying that. Got the rehab program with it as well. But yeah, he went through obviously 4 knee reconstructions, and I think the mental toughness he showed from that to get back, and to see him over the last 12 months play some consistent AFL top level footy has been really good.
Oh, it's fantastic to be able to come back from that. It's unbelievable, and loving his time up at Sydney. You obviously speak to him quite regularly.
Yeah, do touch base quite regularly. He's about 200 metres from Bondi Beach, so he's got a pretty good setup over there that he's quite happy with.
No, absolutely, mate. And let's talk the draft. Was it easier for you when going through the draft period, all the media speculation, everything that's around at the time, with your brother going through that?
I think having Daniel going through that, it probably prepared me a bit for the way it does happen and seeing that firsthand. But again, you see a lot of media of this guy going there and this guy going there, and they don't even end up getting drafted. So at the same time, you try and shut out a lot of the speculation, because you never know what's going to happen.
Gets the draft night, you're called out at pick 11 to go to the Blues. What was that like to hearing your name called out, and it's real now?
Yeah, it was pretty incredible time. I was lucky enough to be up on the Gold Coast at the time for it. Going into the day, I had absolutely no idea what was going to happen. Hear things from certain clubs and whatnot, but Carlton was actually a team who I didn't think had any interest at all. So when pick 11 rolled round and they called out my name, was pretty happy. I guess quite relieved as well that I was drafted. So it was definitely a very exciting time. Yeah,
it's fantastic. It's funny how it happens that the club that you don't think's got any interest is the club that you go to. And mate, you go to Carlton. 8 rounds in, you make your AFL debut as an 18-year-old at that time. To go make your debut in your first year on the AFL list, how good was that? Yeah,
it was pretty incredible. It was probably a bit unexpected. There was a few injuries in the forward line that week, and I guess it was just good timing for me to come in and make my debut. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible experience. All the family flew over and a lot of friends, and really enjoyed it.
And you got to play in the Mick Malthouse as well. What was Mick like behind the scenes? You probably saw from a spectator's point of view, he was quite blunt to the media and what we saw of him. But what was Mick like behind the scenes?
He's definitely portrayed a certain way in the media. But as a coach and I guess as a mentor to players as well, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Footy-wise, he's one of the smartest people in football I've come across, and as a person, he genuinely cares about everyone he's working with and has really good relationships with him. So I can't speak highly enough of Mick, and I have a lot of respect for him.
Oh, it's fantastic to hear. You play 40 games with the Blues. How did the trade back to Adelaide to the Crows, how did that all come about?
Yeah, it was a funny one. It was 2015 off season, and I'd gone away to Bali with a few mates, and I was contracted for another couple of years, so didn't really think anything was going to happen in trade week, and then got a call from the manager saying there's a bit of interest there from a couple of clubs, and one being the Crows. So I sort of didn't really give it much thought. I said, maybe the Crows might be an opportunity for me or something like that, and then about a day later he called me up and was like, mate, you need to get on a plane because this Crows trade might be happening. So yeah, within about 48 hours I was going from relaxing in Bali with a few mates to back on a plane and at the Crows facility doing a medical. So it all happened quite quick. But yeah, ended up at the Crows.
At the Crows, mate. In your time at the Crows, you played just the 4 AFL games. Probably didn't work out as well as you would have hoped. But so how tough was that sort of going through that period with there?
Yeah, it was definitely different going from a team that wasn't so successful to a team that was playing consistent finals, and only 2 years ago played in the grand final. So it was definitely a different environment to be in, but it was I always get asked the question, do you regret the trade? Whereas I was looking at it as, well, if you want to be the best footballer, you got to play and compete to be in the best teams, and Adelaide were one of the best teams. So if I was able to be consistent in that team, then I would have done my job. So I definitely don't regret the decision, and I competed against the best.
No, that's it. It's fantastic as well. And last year, mate, just obviously finished up with the Crows and just wanted to go find a bit of love again for the game, and you've ended up at Tree Gully with a few of your mates, and you won a flag last year.
Yeah, it was worked out pretty well in the end. But went back there, wanted to sort of find my passion for the game and love for the game, and I had a fair few schoolmates that played out there, and always wanted to play footy with them. Never played junior footy with them, always played against them. So went out there, and then ended up working out pretty well. We won the flag, so it was first Div 1 flag for Tree Gully in their time. So it was a very enjoyable year.
No, fantastic. And mate, 2019, you've made your way back to the Doggies, and you're playing some really consistent league footy at the moment. Is the goal would you maybe stick the hand up, have another crack at the AFL, do you reckon?
I was definitely on the cards to nominate for the draft at the end of the year. I decided probably halfway through last year that I wanted to come out to the Doggies and give Samford another crack. And I've really enjoyed my footy this year, and at the moment that's sort of where I'm at. Just wanted to focus on enjoying footy, and that's exactly what I'm doing. At the end of the year, whatever happens is whatever happens, and we'll take it from there. But no, I'm enjoying being back here. No,
that's it, Troy. Thank you very much for joining me, Doggies fans. He's an absolute legend. So make sure, as every week, you get down and support the boys, and come and have a chat to Troy. He's an absolute ripper to talk to as well. So thanks for joining me, mate.
No, cheers, Nonny.
Thanks.